Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This video is about the former Busbys department store, which was located in Manningham Lane, or on Manningham Lane. So let's start with the location. I've just said at the end of Manningham Lane, north of the city centre, approximately halfway between Manningham and West Bowling. Today the land is Manningham Lane Retail Park, a rather grand name for a most modest shopping development comprising of a small supermarket, furniture store and a gym and 2 empty units, each set back from a car park on raised ground. It is anomalous except for one redeeming feature, a line of slender silver birch trees lining the edge of the raised ground. They are an echo, perhaps, of the white turrets of the iconic building that was a magnet for shoppers in the 20th century. That building was Busby's department store, which opened in 1930 and closed in 1978. Those who grew up in that period have every reason to have fond memories of an iconic retail experience in a magnificent Gothic building. Those born later will see nothing special about this so-called retail park. Replacing an earlier much smaller shop on Kirkgate, the Ernest Busby had opened with staff of 23 in 1908. The new store was well situated as shoppers got off trams and later trolleybuses right outside the store from wealthier suburbs of Manningham, Heaton, Saltaire, and arrived off buses from further afield places such as Skipton, Ilkley and Harrogate. Promoted as the store with the friendly welcome, Busbys had a reputation of being a friendly family store, run by 3 sons and a daughter. Its distinctive red and black logo showed 4 marching Coldstream Guards. At its height, by the 1950s, Busbys employed over 800 staff with branches in Ilkley and Harrogate. It made the claim that it sold everything any customer could need. Many departments were distinctive. Its dress department had expensive gowns and a facility for dressmaking. A furrier by background, Ernest Busby also created a furs department, where furs were manufactured. The store had a restaurant, cafe, library, hairdresser, beauty salon, laundry and record counter. Pre-war, it even had its own petrol station. Post-war, it added an ice cream factory and nearby Fountain Hall for functions. Busby's came into its own at Christmas with a Saturday parade from the city centre and Santa's grotto. Children also marbled at the pneumatic cashier system. Cash or cheque would be screwed into a pneumatic cylinder, then pushed into a hole in the wall to hurtle across the ceiling to a central cashier out of sight. A few minutes later, it would be hurtled back with a receipt and change. Sadly, by the 1960s, the store's influence started to decline. After Ernest Busby died, Debenhams took it over in 1958. 50 years later, Debenhams announced a rebranding, and all references to Busby's were replaced with Debenhams. A famous Bradford name from its prosperous past had disappeared into the anonymity of national chains. The writing was on the wall, and in February 1978, Debenhams finally closed its store. It was a sad month for Bradford's 2 once famous department stores, when a week later, Brown Muff in the city centre sold out to Rackmans. 18 months later, after lying empty for months, the old Busby's department building disappeared in an almighty blaze. On August 30th, 1979, at tea time, a dramatic fire destroyed it. Nearly 100 firemen attempted to tackle the blaze but couldn't prevent leaving the grand listed building in a heap of smouldering rubble. In the blaze, a third of the facade crashed into Manningham Lane, hurtling huge chunks of masonry across the road. As thousands of people gathered, smoke and flames billowed into the sky until the building was a twisted pile of hot rubble, leaving for Bradfordians only memories of a once-loved store. Fortunately, there were no serious casualties. The following year, Eric Busby wrote, "So the famous Victorian building was burnt to a mass of twisted metal and rubble in less than 3 hours. I cannot dwell on this sad ending, except to say that it was less distressing than the empty building had been. And mind you, I did think that as a fire it was the best ever. A dramatic, super magnificent finale. The remains of the building were demolished. The retail park now stands on the site, offering no reminder of the past. In looking at this ominous site, one cannot help thinking the vision, passion and commitment of Ernest Busby. He and his family created something truly memorable that Bradfordians under 50 had never experienced. The fire finally wiped out what he had created. Busbys, as was, wouldn't have survived national trends, as department stores gradually disappeared well before online shopping gave the final blow to the high street. But the tragic loss of the building was also the loss of an opportunity to regenerate a major focal point in the city centre. And that concludes our brief look at the Busby store, which used to be located on Manningham Lane. Thank you again for listening. If you did enjoy it, please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.